So hey guys, welcome to another video, and today I want to answer a question that I wanted to answer for quite some time actually. Pretty much ever since the start of Warlords, or since the opening of Highmall. And that question is, why you no make boss POV videos, which is Resto Druid point of view videos. There are a couple of points I want to talk about in this question, alright? So first of all, a little bit of bragging. Yesterday we've killed Butcher on Mythic. Yes, he's finally dead. That fucking boss is finally dead. So I'm very happy about that. So we're just missing Korag and Imperator. And we have also killed Blast Furnace on Heroic yesterday. It was a very successful day, and I'm very happy about it. You know, it's no method, but I'm alright with that. I am alright with that. I'm very happy with our progress. So that's that. And you know, that kind of kickstarted this whole thing. You know, maybe people want to see me do Butcher or, you know, the Blast Furnace, because those bosses are fairly interesting for healers. But, you know, you have to understand that, first of all, most bosses aren't terribly interesting for healers. Alright? If you, for instance, look at Korag on... is it Korag? No, Kargath. Kargath in Highmall. That boss is not interesting for healing. It's just not. Okay, you're just standing next to a pillar and you either get the Berserker Rush or you get the cat chasing you. And you just move to the pillar, move out, and then you're just clicking raid frames all the time. Right, so that's all you're doing, unless you go up on the balcony and you have to kill the dudes. In which case, well, you're just standing there and you're clicking raid frames while dodging bombs. Right, so that boss isn't very interesting for me to watch, you know, a healer do. Butcher, on the other hand, Butcher is more interesting. Even though it's a patchwork fight, it's very healing intensive, and I think that would be a fairly good boss to record. You know, and then you have stuff like Brackenspore. Brackenspore would be another great example of this. Maybe Twin Ogron as well. Korag isn't that interesting, and Imperator, yeah, while there are some, you know, oh shit moments for healing, it's not that bad. You know, and in the Blackrock Foundry, Gruul is not terribly interesting, or Gorger is just good fight to look at, so that would be alright. Although, it would probably, you know, the second phase would be just you looking at a Druid going, I can't heal that target, you know, that target is out of line of sight 90% of the time. Thank you. That's a wonderful room. Why can't we heal in the entire room? That would be wonderful. You know, and then you have like Beast Lord. The last phase is very, you know, intensive, so that would be kind of nice. But stuff like Blast Furnace, that would be really good to watch. Alright, so there are certain bosses that would be entertaining if you're watching a healer, but certain bosses are not. Okay, certain bosses are just not. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, usually when we kill a boss for the first time, it's because one of the crazy things we have been trying out works. Alright, and I think these requests either come from people who have already done the boss and they want to see someone else do it, so maybe they can get a couple of tips, in which case it's probably not a very good idea to release early video like these, you know, like this, you know, 1 week into Blackrock Foundry, let's release a video. No, because you will get the wrong idea. That's why you probably want to watch someone else, because you're not quite sure if what you're doing is alright. And the person you are watching is not sure either. So, you know, that's the thing. Or it's from people who don't do progress rating and they want to see it. In which case, those people will get the wrong idea of what to do in this boss fight. Right? Because when you finish the first week, and maybe even the second week, usually just the first week, during the second week you kind of have it ironed out, the strategy and all that. But during the first week, the first kill is always going to be really weird. At least for me. Right? Especially if the boss dies within sort of like 2-3 pulls. You know, stuff like Gruul, the Orgorger Heroic, you know, the Beast Lord drama isn't that difficult. You know, the two German dudes and stuff like that. Those bosses will die within a couple of pulls. They are not that difficult on Heroic. And as a result of that, the pulls will be weird as fuck, and people will have no idea what's going on. Because you will see mages randomly ice blocking, alright, doing Invis. You will see Druids, including me, shape-shifting with every single debuff, because we don't know. Maybe, you know, on Korak, the frozen debuff dropped when you shapeshifted or used Roar. So we'll be randomly using Roars to try get rid of debuffs that impair your movement, or we will try to shapeshift to get rid of this debuff. You will see Paladin throwing bops at people. Just randomly, Paladin, just nothing's happening, and suddenly Paladin throws a bop. Because the Hunter said, you know what, I kind of have a debuff, and it kind of fucking hurts, maybe we can drop it with bop. So he gets a bop, you know? And the weirdest of things, you know, healers using cooldown in the weirdest times. Especially that. Especially when you're not running a timer. You will see healers just, the raid is at sort of 80% health-ish, and you will see me pop Trank. And you'll be like, why the fuck did you pop Trank? You're a moron. But what you don't realize is I need Trank 3 minutes from now. So I'm gonna pop it. It's gonna help the healers a bit. It's gonna, you know, help the mana consumption a bit, because I just healed everyone. And in 3 minutes, when I need it, it's gonna be off of cooldown. Okay, so if I need Trank in 3 minutes from now, I'm gonna use it when the raid takes damage. And you might just be like, well, you're using cooldowns at the wrong times, and da 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 da. But what people don't understand is that we are learning the fight. We are trying to come up with a tactic, because we have a certain setup, you know, with certain healers. Now we have 2 shamans on healing intensified, but we didn't have shamans. So we didn't have big cooldowns. We had paladins, okay, and a discipline priest. And then we had 1 holy priest. So we essentially had 2 big cooldowns. We had Trank and him. So, you know, we had to really plan out our cooldown. So we're using them at the weirdest times. And people will get the wrong idea. And, you know, with all the backseat gaming, just watch a video from Method. You know, this is another annoying thing that just irritates me. Even if you watch a video from Method or Paragon, there will be a ton of people going, well, that Hunter isn't doing and that Shaman isn't doing and this healer is doing shit healing because of you know, and they are doing it the way they do because it works for them. And if it works for me, it might not necessarily work for you. Alright, so people take these as sort of kind of guides, but not really. It's something that's supposed to point you towards the right direction, but it's not. You know, the first kill is always a clusterfuck unless you spend like 20-ish pulls on that boss, or even 10. So yeah, that's the question answered. I just don't want to confuse people, and I don't want backseat gamers just bashing me because I'm trying things out. That's it. As soon as I get the bosses kind of ironed out and we know what we're doing, I will do some point of view videos. Probably from Highmall first, and then some from the Blackrock Foundry, but I would kind of like to know if you guys would watch them as well. So please tell me, and I thank you all for watching. Bye bye.